Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock with news. Market moving data is scarce today, but investors should be reading the latest US CBO update. But first, there was only a modest rise in consumer debt in the US in March, up a mere 1.5% and substantially less than the rise analysts were expecting. Stepping back for a longer-term trend view, Americans have been growing their consumer debt appetite at a slowing rate since 2012. This is quite different to the assumption many jumped to. And US mortgage applications rose 2.6% last week from the prior week, recovering from the 2.3% drop in that earlier week. But they remain 17% lower than a year ago levels. Maybe one reason last week's level was higher was because benchmark interest rates actually fell, the first reversal in more than a month. And new estimates from the US Congressional Budget Office make clear the cost of extending the Trump 2017 tax cuts will likely exceed $5.8 trillion and are now the single largest contributor to their swelling American federal budget deficits. It is 7 times more than the annual defense budget and more than 3 times their health and human services budget. Across the Pacific, Taiwanese exports rose in April by a modest 4.3% amount, the 6th consecutive monthly rise, but far less than the stellar rise in March. There was disappointment all the same because they were expecting another 15% rise. And in Sweden, their central bank cut its policy rate to 3.75%, which involved a 25 basis point reduction that analysts were expecting. They say that inflation is now approaching the target, while economic activity is weak. It is their first rate cut since 2016, following the tightening campaign that started 2 years ago. They said if the outlook for inflation stays lower, their policy rate will be cut 2 more times during the second half of 2024. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now at 4.49% and unchanged from yesterday, and the price of gold will start today down a minor $2 at $2,314 an ounce. And oil prices have changed a little, and still just under $78.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is $83.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today little change too, at just on 60 US cents. Against the Aussie, though, we're a quarter cent firmer at 91.3 Australian cents. Against the euro, a little change to 55.9 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just under 69.5, and again marginally firmer from yesterday. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.